Okay, so I have to do the actual video and sound separately and then put them together into a video for you. So I'm going to do the sound now and hopefully be able to remember everything that I did. So the first thing you want to do is find the Excel icon or Excel program, then find blank workbook. You'll double click that Excel and open it, and then find blank workbook and open it. And here I'm going to drag it across my whole screen so it covers all of my mess, so you can actually just pay attention to the spreadsheet itself. Each little square box is called a cell, and then there's rows. The cells are numbered and the rows are by letter. So there's row 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's um, columns A, B, C, etc. That little upper left box will select everything on the sheet if you wanted to format it some way. So there's if you want to select the row, then you would just highlight over the number till it turns green. Now I am putting in the titles for row 1, and that's where you're going to enter your information underneath. These are just the titles of what you're going to be putting in, and this is kind of how I set up my work spreadsheet. So there I'm putting pin, if any, if something has a pin number, and I'm going to tell you a little more about that after, because Excel can be a little bit quirky. Here I'm going to type security question more than once, so I go up to the top after I type it, and then I highlight it with my mouse, which I messed up, highlight it, right click, copy, and then I'm going to go to the next cell by tabbing or clicking in it and go to right click paste. Or you could have used the shortcuts if you know the shortcuts for copy and paste. There I just add a number 2 because it's going to be the second security question. Same thing there, I went to the next cell, pasted my security question, and then just put a number 3. Now I've forgotten to put in the columns for the answers, so I'm going to have to insert those. So I'll go between 1 and 2, and I will highlight the one to the right, right click and insert. That's going to insert a column between those two columns. And I do the same thing between security question 2 and 3. Highlight the column, right click, insert. Now you could see that some of the wording overlaps. It looks like it's typed into the next column, so I'm going to fix that right now by selecting all. And then that line at the top of column A on the right, you just make sure the thing turns black, double click it. You could also drag the width to make it any size that you want. But I see by doing that, I didn't do it enough, and the numbers in the security question are still overlapping a little bit, but I will fix it after. Now I'm just putting the title answer for each of the security questions because that's the information that you'll fill in your in your spreadsheet, sorry. See how I went to the right of the column, made sure my little thing turned black, and double clicked it, and it auto fits anything that's in there. Now, under the website or app, I'm going to put the titles or the names of the website or app. These I'm just remembering off the top of my head that we're using at work. So I may have missed something. You could always add them in there. And I did save this for you as a starter sheet if you choose to use it. But I also wanted to show you how I created it so that you can. And again, you can see that Royal Caribbean University is overlapping, but we're going to auto fit that text in there in a minute. So you just double click to the right of the column and it auto fits everything in there. Now I'm selecting row 1 and I'm making it bold. And then I want to select the whole sheet and center it, center the text. And that will center anything you type from here on out. And you can always change that. I prefer it centered. You don't necessarily have to have it centered. And then you fill in each of these little cells with the information that you need to remember. That's the whole purpose for the sheet. Now hitting enter again goes down a row. Don't forget to save your workbook. I always save things to my desktop so I can find them easily. And this, I'll just name it real quick. But when you hit the enter key, it moves down a row. If you hit the tab key, it moves to the right. And if you hit shift tab at the same time, it moves to the left. I know that might be a lot of information, but here I'm just entering some information. It's not your actual information. I'm just showing you how to tab over and enter things. Now here, first I put in a 4-digit PIN, and then I thought I better show you how to do formatting a little bit because Excel can be a little bit quirky. So in a second, you'll see me go back to that PIN area. And I didn't put more than 4 digits, so I'm going to fix that right now. Let's say something starts with a 0. That 0 is automatically going to drop off of there. Anything that starts with a 0, it will take the 0 out. So if you need that 0 in there, you're going to highlight the column, go to Format Cells, and then you're going to look to the bottom where it says Custom, then go into where it says General, and you're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. That tells it that the column has 5 characters, and see now that 0 is showing up. Most pins only have 4, but I wanted to show you if for some reason something you type does not show up correctly, then you can format it if it's got not showing all the digits. Now here I was going to try to show you how to format date and time. You won't need it for your password spreadsheet, but I was going to just go a little bit of an extra mile just to show you how to format a date and time, but it went completely terribly. It did not work. I don't know why it didn't work because I consider myself very well versed in Excel and I try it several times. So just disregard everything that I'm doing right now. I just keep trying and trying because I'm not a quitter. But I don't want to make the video for you too long. So eventually I just gave up on the date because it's not really important. And if you need any more help with Excel, again, ignore everything I'm doing right now. I'm just trying to get that format right. And you can see that it's not putting anything that I'm actually typing in. I type in 12/15/17. It's giving me September 12th of 1932. Have no idea why. It could be because I might have formatted the cells before putting the date. I don't know. It's very strange to me why it's doing that. But again, just disregard all of that. If you need more help or any walkthrough or have a question or anything, feel free to email me. I'll shoot you my phone number and you can give me a call and I can walk you through any questions that you might have in Excel. Believe it or not, I am very well versed in Excel, formulas, linking spreadsheet to spreadsheet. So if you do need any more help after this little cheesy tutorial, feel free to email me. And see that little icon at the top? If you hover over it, says save. Don't forget to save your work because if you close it without saving it, you will lose. However, if you X out of it, it will give you the option and ask you, do you want to save your changes? Always save your changes unless you didn't make any and you think you might have leaned on the keyboard or something, then you don't have to save your changes. But just remember to save your changes. A shortcut for that is Control S on a regular PC. It's Command S on a Mac. I don't know if you use a PC or a Mac. And then some other shortcuts I can send you an email or just tell you. Control C is copy. Control V is paste. Control A selects everything on your spreadsheet. And again, don't forget to fix that formatting. I hope that I didn't leave it at, you know what, I'll fix it before I send it to you. Because a pin is generally not going to start with a 0 and usually has 4 characters. So I'll fix that before I send this over to you. But that's it for this little tutorial. Again, if you need any more help, let me know. I'll give you my phone number and be able to help you out.